Holy smokes. 1 hour 30. Let's do this shit. Take a hike. That's what this episode is called. Like, you have no idea what kind of emotional, mental struggle, madness, insanity, crazy kind of bullshit, but basically honest emotion I just went through. And I have no idea, and that's probably an understatement. I'm completely hanging in the air. This is the first time in weeks that I find the courage or the time or the energy, or that I feel the need to go to the Boulderhall. And it's super crazy because I literally don't know what's going on. I was at home and I came to the conclusion that what I wanted to do today is go to the Boulderhall. And then my key was missing. I was like, what does that mean? You know, what is calling me to the Boulderhall? And you may think, you know, why don't you just go there and find out? But the problem is, if I'm following a feeling that is disguising itself as something else, then I have a problem. Because I'm still a little bit on edge, to say the least, because I have trouble with making choices at the moment because of what happened to me in the city, which is why I first wanted to wear my green hat. But when I got punched in the face, that's what I was wearing. So although I never really received a physical injury, like a minor bruise, but I still have the feeling like I want to check if somebody's following me, especially when I'm walking like this, right? So I made a conscious choice to wear this cap because, yeah, I mean, I'm walking barefoot. How many people do you know, unless you're some kind of super hippie or super free forest guy who lives with people that always walk barefoot, right? You barely ever see anyone walking barefoot. So why am I so worried about my hat if I'm walking around in bare feet all the time? Which is like, oh wow, you're wearing a different hat, but you're still barefoot, bro. Yeah, I don't like that word, because people say it in this kind of casual way, almost like they're trying to say we're brothers, but then they screw around with you. It's this kind of loose attitude towards being a man. It's like, bro, yeah, sorry man, I'm not a bro. I'm like a bit further than that, without trying to be condescending or using condescension to downsize others, by forcing them to do things that they don't want, such as, whatever. I'm just gonna let it stand there. I think we all know what I mean, but of course it can be interpreted in other ways. I like to be asked, do you want this? And then I say, sure. Yeah, instead of, you have to do this. And that's basically what this fight was. This guy was trying to force me to fight with him. And the really crazy thing still is, but it's getting a bit less now, that he was trying to pull me. I could feel the presence of his anger and of his lust for battle from an insane distance. I mean, he was like standing right in front of my doorstep, spiritually. And I've never had such an encounter. And you may think that's insane, it's impossible, but I'm telling you, it's possible. And it's whatever the law of attraction is. If somebody's trying to attract you into their lives as a punching bag, you may actually give in to that intuitively, which I did, because the first night where that happened, where they did punch me, they were pulling me. You know, I wasn't even aware of this anymore, but they were actively looking for me, and I ran right into them. And now I realized, all right, what I have to do to survive, not just because people are trying to get a punch in, but because, you know, I stand for something. I feel like I owe it to myself to be true all the time to what I want in my life. And I've been talking about this. I'm in love with a woman, and we've met some month ago. It feels like an eternity, an entire lifetime. Could have also been yesterday. And after that, we split apart. We had some weeks together, and they were so nice that I chose this woman. And I said, you are it for me. But the truth is that it's been very hard on me, because except for the fact that I still often have a hard on, you know, not just when I think about that woman, but also when I look at other things, such as images of breasts or gifs. But the point is, you know, I've been sometimes trying to get together with other women, and I always had the feeling that when I was trying to do that, life was preparing something for me, like a backhand, right? It's like, if you do this, bats, I'm gonna smash you in the face with the back of my hand, you know, like a manly slap, if you will, like a back slap. Pow! And it's strange, because there's a part in me that's very gullible, that's like, oh yeah, you want to be friends with me, you know? It's like, yeah, I think you want to have sex with me. And sometimes it doesn't even matter. I mean, just imagine, like, I mean, if somebody wants something, like, let's say you have a cousin and you get along with that cousin very well, and you have a very good relationship, and she's desperately looking for a man to give her a child, to love her, to cradle her, to keep her safe. And then this woman gets very well with her cousin, and then they start having contact more. And then you as a man have to ask yourself, wait a second, where's the boundary here? Like, where is the boundary? And then the boundary for me would be that, you know, I won't invite you to my home, and I won't go hiking with you. You know, it's okay if we call once in a while, because if life gets too much, sure, go ahead and call your cousin. But until we both have family and